Hey there, tired of stuff like this happening to you? I'm so slow. Have mercy.
Another democratic soldier for the cause!
Help me.
Oh,
Oh,
there's a tank. That's
God.
why.
Wish could be a bit more calm, cool, and collected like this.
Oh my.
Dude.
Guys,
What?
Yeah.
I found the convention.
Well, good news. I'm Ervin, and I'm here to break down my ultimate build for stealth gameplay versus the difficulty 9 Automatons in Helldivers 2. First, I just want to say that I've actually covered the topic of stealth extensively on my channel already in 4 other previous videos, so if by the end of this you're still looking for some more stealth-based tutorial content, I've got you. But with that out of the way, let's talk about the primary first. The Plas 1 Scorcher is by far and away the best in the business at destroying bots. This weapon kills light bots in just 1 or 2 body shots, will penetrate and destroy striders from the front, and also is capable of ammo-racking tanks and cannon turrets in just a single magazine. The only enemy you'll really need to swap for is if you need to handle a Hulk. But most importantly of all, the Plas 1 sports a very low sound profile, barely audible at all to the enemy, meaning that unless the guarding clanker you dome has a buddy within direct line of sight of you already, you're able to take out guards one by one without provoking a bot drop. The enemies will instead rush to investigate your last known location, or the scene of the crime itself in some cases, to make sure when taking out your targets to move swiftly afterwards to avoid detection, and most importantly the bot drops, while you're busy utilizing this absolute monster of a primary. As for your secondary, this is only particularly important if you don't have access to the Plas 1 yet, which, to be fair, is probably a lot of people still, as it's a lot of medals to get to. So for that reason, I'm recommending the Senator. Reason being that sidearms as well sport a relatively low sound profile, and the Senator hits hard enough to send any light bots guarding a facility straight to the scrap heap with a single headshot while keeping your noise to a minimum. Just don't use the iron sights, they are disgusting. Besides that, I want to mention here, as I did in my previous guides, melee has absolutely no sound profile. Enemies have no reaction to their brothers being bludgeoned into an oily pulp. The pistol whip animation, when lined up properly, can headshot light bots, instantly killing them, creating an even lower chance you'll be detected during your efforts. Moving on, I just want to talk briefly about grenade types. I've utilized every grenade type in Helldivers 2 pretty extensively at this point, and the most consistent one for shutting down fabricators for me has definitely been the fragmentation grenade. Although impacts can be thrown from any range, they are very finicky to connect with the hitbox inside the fabricator vents. When you're sneaking around, shock and awe is one of our most important tools. We need to get in with the smallest margin of error possible and get out. For this reason, we take the frags instead, as they may not have the longest fuse like the HE grenades, but they will reliably always detonate the fabricator on a good toss, unlike the HE, which sometimes, despite a good toss, will just miraculously leave the fabricator standing. So choose reliability. Choose the frag grenade. Alright, so we're finally on to the stratagem section. After a ton of experimentation to figure out what gave me the highest degree of success, I landed on taking rocket pods, the 500 kg, and the orbital laser. When approaching an enemy base, there's a line of questions that you should be asking yourself. The first is, can I reach the fabricator without being seen? If you can, then get in range, toss your frag, and take off. Second question, if the answer was no, is, can I kill all the guards without them calling a bot drop, or do my allies already have the drop? Remember, there can only be one bot drop at a time on the map unless you're activating one of the 5 mandatory drops on geological survey missions. If you can successfully push the facility without sounding the alarm, or your allies already have the bot drop allowing you to take out the guards without the pressure of reinforcements, then, well, do so. So what if the answer was no to both of these, though? That brings me to my point. Ask yourself, which of these 3 fire support stratagems will handle this situation? If the enemy base is large, you'll likely want to burn one of your orbital lasers, as it'll carve its way through the base, reaping destruction and sometimes clearing the entire encampment all on its own. If there's just one fabricator, but it's too heavily guarded to be worth risking a push, throw a rocket pod. It'll lock onto the fabricator and allow you to head off on your way, but just make sure there are no heavy units nearby to pull the rocket pod targeting away. If there is, utilize your 500 kg instead. Speaking of which, got a detector tower you need sorted? Unfortunately, rocket pods won't do the trick. but the 500k sure does, as it does not discriminate about what it disintegrates. So time to get nuclear. Not to mention, the 500kg and rocket pods can help with priority threat elimination, should you find yourself in a direct engagement. Utilizing these 3 stratagems and applying my 4 questions to your encounters, I can promise will drastically improve how swiftly and efficiently you clear through your Helldives. The enemy will be chasing your ghost the entire match, bringing in bot drops to locations you haven't been to in nearly over a minute, and utterly unable to keep up with or detect you. Now, the last stratagem has a lot of play in what you can bring, so we're going to talk through what I feel are the best options one at a time. First, let's talk about the spear. The spear has received an unwritten buff to its ammo economy with the latest patch, now receiving a missile back from each ammo pack within the mission itself, making it much more consistently useful. As far as its ability to take out priority targets like tanks and hulks, though, it's extremely limited, taking you multiple shots each. However, the reason you take this support weapon is its ability to lock onto fabricators from very, very far away. We're talking multiple hundreds of meters, further increasing your ability to take out bases beyond the 3 stratagems without direct combat. There's also often no reason you can't receive a different support weapon from a teammate later on in the mission when it's time to get more combative. So if you find yourself wanting to double down on the playstyle of stealth and guerrilla warfare at the cost of your effectiveness in direct conflict, you might as well pick the spear. The last weapon, and in my opinion the better of the 2 between it and the AMAT, is still, yes, the Railgun. Although the Railgun has just taken a very serious nerf, the changes made to it almost completely apply to only fighting bugs. Remember, we have our Plas 1 for dealing with towers and tanks. We don't need to shoot through any hard armor with our Railgun, meaning the biggest part of the nerf, the reduction to damage against hard armored surfaces, does not apply to us using it for the purpose of one-shotting Devastators, as well as staggering or outright one-shotting Hulks with a well-placed headshot. As far as combat effectiveness is concerned in any engagement against the Automatons, this weapon hasn't lost a single step, and is well deserving of your final stratagem slot.
And now, another helpful tip from General Brash.
All Super Earth citizens such as yourselves are equal. However, those of you who like, comment, and subscribe to Eravin's videos are super equal.
That's all there is to say about what I feel is the strongest loadout for stealth gameplay in Helldivers 2. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and have a wonderful day. See you next time.